Welcome back.
Welcome back to In the Basement with Jeff and Rob.
No, we were
It's
talking
kind of
about
what we're talking about,
our
actually.
old job. We used to all work at the same independent movie theater. At
It's the Cinema Arts Center,
Little bit of a staggering time, but
Great place. Go visit. Give them all your money.
but they did a gay and lesbian film festival. I think they do it every year.
Yeah.
Every year, yeah.
But
I think twice, actually.
I
Twice a year.
You work at the place, and at least speaking for me, I was working in the cafe, so I didn't really pay attention to like what was on the agenda. So there's the Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, and God bless gay and lesbians.
Those were the
But,
best festivals to work.
But the thing is like
They were
I
so
wasn't
much
really
fun.
prepared. But I remember it was like one of the weeknights before the festival happened on a weekend, and I remember talking to a guy.
Oh, I thought you just died.
Who ordered some popcorn, and he looked at my shirt, and I had a local band shirt, Stage. He's like, "Oh, I know those guys, the good guys." We started talking about that, and like we were just talking about music for like I don't know a couple minutes, and like I got like no obvious signs, like like no gaydar happening, and he's just like, "Oh, by the way, I think you're very cute," and I just I'm not
was this
it was
the
just out of
first
nowhere.
time?
Like, yeah, this is like I think this is the first time I ever got hit on by a dude.
Oh, okay.
And,
That's what I'm getting at.
And I was just like, I froze because I was just like, I had no idea, and I was like, and he was like, oh, like I legitimately froze to the point where like he was like, oh, like he kind of like backed away from me. He's like, oh, I didn't mean it, and I was like, no, it's cool. Like I feel I didn't think it was a bad interaction, but like every now and then I'll feel guilty that like I put some undue stress on this dude who was hitting on me, but
the Gay and Lesbian Film Festivals were the best festivals because I knew every single person who was coming to the theater that day or that weekend or that week, however long I think they were usually a week long, and then we had like a big bash over there Friday and Saturday, and then like Sunday.
Oh, it was fun. I was just like,
I knew that everybody coming in was going to be nice.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everybody who came in like during the week
I
for the
got
regular
invited
shows,
to a lot of parties.
yeah, just outside of being like genuinely
But
down to earth,
it's-
cool people,
They
you
were
knew you were gonna have like a good story come out of it as well.
Yeah.
they were cool, and like I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like I was 19.
Yeah, dude, you were tender vittles.
I was 19. I looked about 15. So like, even though I'm like, yeah, I guess legally I'm fair game. Like,
You didn't look it.
I don't
You
look it.
did
Like,
not
yeah,
look it.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
Yeah.
it was-
Jeff at 19 to like 26, you still look like you were 14.
it's been a rough 2 years, I would say. I
Yeah.
think I went from like, yeah, he doesn't look anywhere near his age to like, oh god.
We worked with, I think the organizer at that time was a gentleman named Steve. No, not Steve. Steve.
Steve Dave. You don't have to say his last name.
I'm trying to remember what it was because you're such a cool guy.
I don't remember.
But
It's
he like,
some-
I mean, we were all at that time when we were working there, we were like young and not really hip to like the gay and lesbian and whatever else culture. Mostly because the majority of everybody who was working at the cinema was straight. We had a very good mix, but we were still very young and naive, especially to like that part of the world and that kind of culture that exists. And like Steve was very cool about breaking down some of like the things you should and shouldn't do. Like if somebody came up to like if a person who came up to you who was clearly a dude but presented themselves as a woman, then you address them as a woman. Stuff like that. So for people who were transgender, like he broke it down. He gave us like the means to be pleasant to them without trying to offend them at the same time, I guess I should say, or make them feel as comfortable as possible in their own flesh. But the counter to that is you never knew who was going to come in and didn't want you to know that they were there for the fest.
Oh yeah.
So I had plenty of people come in who were just like, "Hey, I want 2 tickets for the 2:00 show." No, they wouldn't tell you what they were
Yeah.
there for, but they
And
would
you're
say
like, "Oh,
they would
yeah,
give
the
you the
gay
time.
thing."
Yeah, exactly. Like, none of us gave a fuck about what you were coming in for. We just wanted you to have a good time.
like that's like that shit wasn't the weirdest crap that ever happened at that place.
No, of course not. But like what I'm saying is like some of the patrons who came in thought it was, and we're like, no, it's perfectly fine.
You know what I think the weirdest thing that happened at that place was when The Beast would play. Do you remember that fucking
The
movie?
Beast?
It was called The Beast, and it was.
Was this like a Theater of the Wild thing, or?
I think so, because it wasn't
Okay.
like a. But it would show up maybe every year,
Right.
but like I never sat through the whole thing. But like it was one of those things that was like, yo, you have to go fucking in theater at this time, and it was
Okay.
like this beast, but like it would fuck people, and like complete with like ejaculation, like, and
Sounds like I missed a good.
Was it an old movie?
like I don't know, 90s,
Okay.
maybe 80s. I don't know.
The Beast?
I think it was called The Beast. I don't
Okay.
think. I,
I'm looking it
I
up,
think
like-
that kind of makes a mark.
All that came up was a war film from 1988.
I think it's
I
called The
very
Beast.
much doubt it was that.
I don't know. Gene would know or somebody, but
I gotta text Gene.
or Joel, but Gene. But yeah,
The
it was like
Beast.
this. You know,
All right.
what you would think of like a high school prop department. Putting
Oh, I
together.
know exactly what you're talking. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, there was a really horrendous one-person bukkake scene in
I
that.
think it was NC-17,
Yeah.
or it was just like so.
Oh, we had
indie,
a
it wasn't
bunch of
rated.
NC-17 films. That was definitely like top tier.
But you're just like the people that would come in and see that. You're like, one for the Beast. And it's like, okay, all right. Like maybe you're just like a film buff, and you're like, okay, I'll
Whatever,
see.
yeah.
I'll see what. But I saw you here last year, motherfucker.
We had plenty of repeat films and repeat customers going to the same exact repeat film over and over again. That wasn't rare. But the thing I loved the most was like the wannabe film student came in who had no idea what they were getting into for whatever movie, and it was,
How often?
we
They
got
would
some
leave.
weird fucking gross shit play at that theater.
How often would you say in your course for both of you? I'm asking this.
I was there for 12 years.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
what
some
I'm-
shit.
Yikes.
How often would
Yeah.
you say you saw people
Who?
like walk out of movies that they weren't prepared for what the content
Oh,
or the
every
subject
day.
matter was going to be?
It would happen at least once, and
Ugh.
And you get, like-
thankfully, a lot of the times it wouldn't be people coming back ask for their money. They would just be like, "All right, I tried. You know, I went out of my comfort zone."
Would they ever like complain or like rant to you
Sure.
about what was?
Yeah, like
Uh,
I made
well,
the movie,
yeah,
and it's my
basically-
fault it's on screen.
You know, most of the patrons there are senior citizens.
Yeah.
unless,
Yeah.
unless you get to the nighttime stuff. But like,
The main customer base was senior citizens who came in during the fucking day,
Retirees,
who
yeah.
had nothing to do during the day. Oh, I'll go to the art theater. There must be playing something classy. And that was not the case most of the time.
Yeah.
We were playing stuff that would not be in your average run-of-the-mill chain movie theater, which was great. That's why we existed. Or exist, rather.
I didn't understand that place sometimes.
I mean, you worked there for 2 years, but you were attached to it for way
yeah,
longer
my
because
entire social circle ended
Exactly.
up being there. So I would show up there when I didn't work there anymore.
yeah. So I would go to work when I wasn't scheduled and,
Also
then
free stuff.
just start working.
Free stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite was when I was working there and I would be in the box office and I'd be like, nah, I don't work here.
Yeah. Just walk off.
2 tickets? Yeah, sure, I could print you out the ticket.
I still went there for like a solid month after I had left. And like, yeah, just same as you. Just go into the box office and pretend to still work there.
I can't believe
Take phone calls and stuff, not knowing what was actually going on.
I remember when I got my, thing that's still my job after all this time, just many iterations
Where
of
the
it.
fuck are you talking about?
When I started working at the place I don't want to say on the internet.
You mean after you left the cinema?
That's where I left the cinema to my
Yeah.
real big boy job that I still have to this day. I worked at the cinema for 6 months at the same time. So like I would.
Oh yeah.
I can't fucking comprehend how I did that. Like I now it's COVID, not going to work, in this traditional sense. But like I remember coming home from work and I'd be like, all right, I gotta go to the cinema now. And now I'm like, I come home from work, I want to just
Die.
drop dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's before I had, a kid.
Yeah, I remember you would never have to bring a lunch.
Oh,
or,
no.
or any food.
No.
Because you would just eat for free. And you would never have to worry about like what your friends were doing after work or later on.
Yeah, because it was hang out at the cinema until we
'cause they
decided
were-
what to do.
Exactly. They were there until you got off of work, and then you would decide what you were doing.
Or you would play
Yeah.
video games at
at
movie
the cinema, yeah.
Remember
I,
that?
I remember I had bought our own projector bulbs at one point.
Really?
Because we had played out
Oh.
one of the projector bulbs in one theater because we had played video games so much. And like, granted, like it was playing movies too, but we definitely added way more bulb hours to it than it should have gotten. So I bought our own pair and like swapped them in and out for a while because I just felt guilty about it.
I remember that projectionist we had was I think his name is Chris.
Yeah.
And he would just beat the shit out of everybody at Halo.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
we play like 4-player Slayer, and we'd all just try to join forces to try to kill the one guy.
we wouldn't even like.
and
I remember we
wouldn't
put it
make
on
it then.
teams against him, and he would just slaughter us. He was awesome.
Who is this?
Very quiet dude. He was just like we used to call him, what was it? Didn't we have a name for those projectionists?
Oh,
It
we
was
had
like
a nickname for everybody. I don't remember.
No, it was like the once a week
His.
different dude, like every week, I forget, like a
Oh,
couple
right.
of days, the union would send like a different dude that
Yeah.
wasn't Joel,
Okay.
and it would be this dude.
Fuck, what was
Like,
it? I know. I remember him clearly and completely. He was a really awesome guy. He was so like reserved too.
yeah,
Um,
I think he invented the game.
his dad definitely worked at Nintendo. But yeah, we would have like a random projectionist come in once or twice a week, just so that our regular projectionist would have a day or two off. And you never knew who was coming in. It was always like one of 6 or 7 different projectionists.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I would say, let's say out of 8 projectionists, 6 of them were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And like 2 of them were just like, please not, please no, please no, please no, not him again.
Let me use it on this thing.
Who's that like older projectionist guy? He just looked like a
Jack.
dad. Is that
It was
Jack?
Jack.
He
Yep.
had like a buzz cut.
He was
or
awesome.
something?
He flew planes, and he tried to get us all to get our pilot's licenses.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna do with your pilot's license? I don't know. Sell you a movie ticket?
Yeah, Jack was great.
I haven't thought about that guy until just now.
Yeah. Well, why would you?
I can't believe I remembered it. Yeah, he was like the one weekend guy. Did I?
Yeah.
Did I see him? Which day did Joel not work? Didn't work Sunday.
He didn't work. No, he
Saturday?
didn't work Fridays and Saturdays, I think.
Oh, whatever.
That was when we got the randoms before Dan came in. And
There
then
was a
Dan.
weekday, wasn't it like a Wednesday night or something?
Maybe, yeah. I think he got Fridays and Saturdays off and like a weeknight off or a weekday off. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But then Dan came in and then we had like a regular run of just Dan and Joel all the time.
Joel's still doing that?
I haven't been to the cinema in ages.
Have
I would love to hang out there, but I don't know what the current environment is like. I don't know who works there.
The only
and-
person I know who still works there is Gene.
Yeah.
Right?
I would absolutely go there for Gene and just hug him all day because I love him so damn much.
So, I've kind of not been paying attention. So.
Well,
Do
we're in the main foyer of Amnesia at this point, and I think you're making your way to the basement to restore power.
No, I'm in
Or
the
something?
basement. I had to.
Really? Is he anywhere close to the
No, don't you have to turn a generator on, or am I thinking about?
generator?
Yeah.
There's the candle fucking operas.
Is this not Outlast? What are we playing?
It's freaking candles. Yeah, he's currently looking for the HVAC so he can get it up to a livable temperature.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
I need to find the fusion
That makes
reactor.
sense.
He's got to turn on the cold fusion machine. It's just the motif that it's,
Oh,
the
don't you
year
need? You just
two.
have to get like a couple banana peels, right?
I need fuel.
Hmm.
You can't use the item in that way.
Nope. Gotta be a way to get back up that I'm not.
There's a little blue pill for that.
Unless maybe I'm right about this. I thought that I used the acid to get through this grating down here.
Real
No, I thought you had to use the acid to get rid of flesh.
Well, that was my other guess when it didn't work.
Pot of acid. It is filled with acid.
No object used. Sign them on. Is there like a secret way out of here?
Acid.
Problem with playing
goggles.
this game so
They do nothing.
freaking long ago is I don't remember any of the steps involved in progressing.
It's still making me super irpy. I definitely want to throw up just
Irpy?
looking at this thing. Hey, Freakazoid. Jeff, what was the best job you've ever had?
A blowjob.
I'm gonna say.
Next question. No. Best job. Definitely the cinema.
Yeah, definitely. Ives?
For me, I
Not
mean,
monetarily, but
the cinema was
No,
the best.
definitely not monetarily.
The cinema was the best in terms of the social aspect,
Yeah.
but the one with the most perks that I enjoyed pretty much,
Ooh, you're getting wavy gravy here.
pretty frequently was when I worked for Blockbuster, because I used to watch tons of fucking movies when I was there.
Yeah, definitely not the cinema.
Well, yeah, but like it was the difference. It was the difference between catching a movie every so often between other responsibilities of the cinema versus watching nonstop movies like all day and night at Blockbuster, because you also got free rentals as an employee. So I go home and watch movies at home, and then I come into the work and watch.
So now you can just watch any movie you want anytime because that's how the world works now.
Yeah,
Right,
This
yeah.
was before Netflix.
Well, you
So
can also
you-
stream them too.
You're still
In
working
fact,
at Blockbuster.
This was
Yeah.
at the days when Netflix sent movies to you in the mail.
Right.
Yeah, okay,
This is actually-
Grandpa.
This was actually I started there a couple years before Netflix was even a thing. So
Have
like,
you seen that meme?
Yeah. You have to explain to your
used to send Netflix in the mail. Yeah, okay, Grandma.
You would get games from Blockbuster too, wouldn't you?
yeah, you could get games there.
Well, I know you could get games there, but I mean, you would just like take a game off the shelf and bring it home with you, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and in fact, I got, because they for a while they rented used systems. I got
yeah,
my
right.
PS2 there for
Oh, there you
like
go.
super cheap. I think it was like $100
What?
instead of like the 200 or 300 that it was at the store.
Blasphemous.
And it was like, and it was crazy too, because I mean we were super sketch about it.
Oh.
What? This room is terrible.
Oh, I hate it.
But we used to take like 1 or 2
Shakes
units
a lot.
of any shipment we got and put it, like hide it in a drawer somewhere and say it was defective in the inventory,
Oh, that was just
so
yours.
that it would never be used, but it would be brand new, but we could price it as used and then buy it for ourselves.
Insider trading us.
Yeah, I know.
I regret to tell you this, but I've been working undercover for
Yeah.
Blockbuster.
For
We
20
finally
years.
nailed you!
20-year investigation to get $100 restitution.
It cost us tens of thousands of dollars to bring you down.
You're lucky it's not GameStop. That would have been like a $4 transaction.
Yeah. Oh, I need to use this on the flesh downstairs. That's what it is.
That's what I
Had
fucking
the
said. Use
flesh
it on the
downstairs.
flesh.
That's what I call it.
That's the entertainment center.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference!
But I remember I used to have to sell DirecTV memberships to
What?
Blockbuster customers because they had a partnership with DirecTV because they thought that's the direction their business was going to end
I
up
don't
going
remember
in.
that at all. Was that like a DivX thing? Do you remember DivX?
Yeah, I remember DivX.
Divx. Oh wow.
DivX.
DivX. I can't remember what I used it for these days anymore.
This game is fucking dark.
I
Oh, there it
remember when
goes.
things were encoded Divx.
Yeah.
Do you remember Real Player?
Oh my god.
What a nightmare that
You
was.
want to know what's really funny?
No.
Back when I was recording music as a teenager, like on Cakewalk, when that was a friggin' thing on my
Ooh.
AW64
Oh,
fucking
Jesus.
shit.
You're fucking old.
There's one song export. You know, normally I just exported it all as wave.
You
Wave
never used
files.
Ogborbus?
But like for what, the only I have, there's this one fucking song I have, and I don't have any other form of copy of it. It's in Real Player format, and I can't open it because it's
How?
the year 2020, and you can't open it. Nothing
Yeah.
plays it.
Can't like K-Lite codec pack doesn't work on that shit?
Nothing.
You're kidding
I've
me.
thrown every VLC, anything at it, and I can't get it to go. I just want to know what it
Can you
sounds.
send it to
it's
me so
probably
I can
fucking
try and fuck
terrible.
around with it?
Fine.
I would like to play with
Style, I
files.
think.
I used to use like
.ram.
I used to use Winamp to play like almost all my music files.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the
I
longest
think
time.
everybody did at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Of course. I think I have a kitchen magnet, and it looks like the old Winamp media player.
Really?
Yeah. It really whips the llama's ass.
I used to have a sticker for like the very first laptop I ever had. One of the first stickers I got was like the equalizer from Winamp.
Oh really? How's my sanity doing?
Drink this oil.
Oops. A few cuts and bruises, a slight headache.
You have a few cuts and bruises on your brain?
I do. Maybe we should explore more of this basement on the next episode.
Maybe you should cut your brain up on the next episode.
Yeah, man.
So there.